It was a random night. I had had a lot of questions about God that day, but I was like, I'm just gonna go ahead and go to bed. And I remember my parents literally just put me in bed. They're like, good night, bro. And I was like, all right, see ya. And I heard Caleb. I was like, what? Like in my room. I got a little scared.
Yeah.
I like ripped my covers off. And I looked around. I didn't see anything. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go back to bed. Like there's no big deal. And I just laid my head down. And I hear Caleb. And I was like,
That was the second time.
yes, second time. I was like, okay. So I woke up and I was like, Mom, Dad, like someone's in my room, like right now, please come help me out. And they're like, okay, we're coming in. And so they looked around, turned the lights on, like checking everything. They're like, bro, nothing's here. My dad even went outside with a flashlight. He's like, someone out the window, like.
That's
and
wild.
They were pretty freaked out. And I was like, I'm freaked out too. I was like shaking. And I was like, someone said Caleb twice to me. And they're like, okay. I go back to bed and it happened a third time. It was a very loud Caleb. And I didn't even close my eyes. I was just like sitting there like, and then Caleb. I was like, woo! And I mean, it was so loud, I like felt it kind of stuff. And I was like, okay. So I ran into my mom and dad. I was
Kind of
like
like one of those thundering voices.
Oh, yeah. And I was like, Mom, Dad, I heard someone scream Caleb in my room. Like, please come in and, bless this room. Or I don't know, like, what you need to do. Like, we need to pray. And so they did. They came in. They're like, hey, like, God, we don't know what's going on, but would you calm Caleb's heart down and all this? And then I didn't know. They stood outside my door after the third time, and they closed it, and they just prayed for me. They're like, we don't know what's going on, but he's like, that's weird. And so they just stayed outside my room and prayed for me for a while. And I remember I was like, I just prayed. I was like, God, I'm scared to death. Like, I don't know what I'm hearing or what's going on, but help me just to go to bed. Like, that's it, like a little 9-year-old prayer. And then I laid down, and I had a dream about just a beautiful sky. And then all of a sudden, I don't know if it was God, but it opened up. And at the top of a staircase, I was like, what in the world? And it was just a bright light, and I didn't hear any words. Everything just kind of made sense. Like, I know you're real, but I just said that in my dream. I was like, I know you're real, and then I woke right up. I was like, okay, like, and then so that night I was like, hey God, I believe you're real. I want to give you my whole life. And I don't know what else I said, but I just did that.
You just gave your heart to Jesus that day.
Yeah, that night. And then I woke up the next day. I went straight to sleep, had a great night of sleep, woke up the next day. I was like, hey, Mom, Dad, I got saved last night. And they're like, heck yeah, bro. Like, what do you mean? And so it was a cool thing. And then we talked to my grandpa and whatnot.
That's
and
wild.
Got baptized the next week. But